Well, I was gonna ask if there are any other shelters in Laredo that there are any no-kill shelters.
There are no other shelters in Laredo, and there is no true no-kill shelter anywhere. Every shelter has to euthanize for one reason or another, so if they say they're a no-kill, very highly unlikely. The only no-kills are really rescues, animal rescues. But you either have to euthanize at some point for sickness, injury, or something like that. As far as what we were talking about the obedience training, one of the things that we would like to implement in the city, because there is so much lacking as far as tethering your pets, making sure that your pets are kept in the yard, making sure that you have animals that are going to be obedient so that they make for better companions, we would like to go into neighborhoods and do something called the Pet Project. And what you do is you offer free obedience training to the community. They come out once a week to train with you, like on a Sunday. It actually helps people better bond with their animals, and in that way, because they have a more obedient animal, because they're bonding with their animal, it helps them to keep them closer to home and want to keep them closer to home. And then the dog responds to the owner a whole lot better. That way it might encourage a lot more people to not have their dogs just roaming the streets and take better care of them. So that is something we'd really like to do, really in the near future.
And is it still in the discussion stages at this point?
It's actually something that I was just talking to some folks about at a conference in San Antonio, and it's something I would like to implement into the city and into our, the other things that we have been doing here at the shelter as well. What we'd like to do is kind of target the areas that are more highly likely to have these roaming dogs. So if there's problem areas within the city, then we want to talk to the neighbors, we want to talk to the community to see exactly who would want to be involved in this, because it is going to be a free service. I used to obedience train dogs. Shannon is very well versed in training dogs. So it wouldn't be something that's anything that's going to be extravagant, but it will help them to get the tools necessary to, have a better animal within their home, like I say. And, cut down on a lot of the strays in the neighborhood, animal biting, and of course, more puppies. And at the time, those kind of opportunities are good for us, because when we do things like going out into the community and helping them with things like that and giving them these free services, we can also offer our advice on spaying and neutering, telling them where they can get services like the SNAP certificates, maybe offer advice on going to the vets who talk about heartworm preventative and things like that. And also, just infection control and making sure that they're healthier animals.
The SNAP certificates, is that related to the spay-neuter?
Yep, the SNAP certificates are provided to us by United Way. United Way provides our SNAP certificates, which give a discount for dogs and cats, male, female, as far as being spayed and neutered. And that's a free service to the community as well.
Excellent. How many of your staff are full-time actual employees?
Full-time? Almost all of us. There's like 12, 13 of us. 13? Yeah, about 13.
And then do you also have a pretty good source of volunteers?
No, we sure don't. It used to be when people would volunteer, and this was prior to us coming into the shelter, was they could come in and just free roam and grab a dog out of the cage and go in front of the shelter and walk them nose to nose out here. It ain't going to happen anymore. They have to go through an orientation now. They have to learn where they can go, where they can't go, how to properly bathe an animal, how to disinfect cages, the importance of wearing gloves through the shelter all the time, not wearing things like flip-flops in the shelter where they can walk through puddles full of bacteria. And of course, we have to make sure that they know about things like zoonotic diseases and what they can be exposed to here in the shelter. We can't have any pregnant women working with the cats, and just so they're aware, because sometimes they can take things home to their own animals, and we want to make sure they're aware of that. Sometimes it scares them a little, I think, and they don't come back. But I also think it scares them too that they actually have to do work.
And we get a lot of kids that come in during the summertime, but we don't have near enough people that can come when the kids are in school. So it's everyone wants to come in on a Saturday
but we can only take so many people on a Saturday at a time, so it's the rest of the days that we are very, very short on.
And our volunteers, I mean, it would be nice to have more volunteers because we can utilize them at Pet Fests and different gatherings that we have as well. You know, they're always a big help to us at those events.